viewers to Games of the Future Abu Dhabi.
Hi, my name is Groot, and we're very excited today to see all the matches that we're going to learn from the most. And all the viewers, of course, will be watching and enjoying as well with us.
Okay, so before we jump into our first match, let's just go back how we first got here. So let's discuss about the group stage. It began with 16 teams, and now we're down to 12 teams. So team, how do you think the group stage went? Were there any surprises for you, Soldier?
To be honest, the group stage was a little bit unpredictable because some of team have a secret picks, pocket picks, and maybe they have some surprises in the group stage, and we will see some surprises in the playoffs because there is some teams having question marks on their picks and bans, and drafting also play in-game matches. So it depends on what we will see today.
Well, yeah, actually, watching the group stage yesterday, some of the actually well-known teams, we saw them stand out actually, and show that they're actually good at what they're doing. Just like, for example, Aurora Gaming PH, we're talking about Versatime, Onyx, and of course RQ, Hoshi, and of course Team Falcons and other teams as well. Some of the teams, as you said, Soldier, were actually unpredictable. Their wins were very unpredictable. Some of the teams we actually we heard about them for the first time, and some of them are actually a hybrid of two different or three different teams.
That's right.
That actually became one team. So yeah, we are very excited to see how are these teams going to do today.
Yes, so okay, now that we are in the playoffs, we shifted from the group stage, now we are in the playoffs. The format changes everything. So now it's just a semi-elimination.
Yes.
It will be one elimination. So there are no chances from here on out. So how do you guys think this pressure changes the event itself?
The vibe between the playoffs and the group stage is totally different because the mentality of the player and the coach's mentality, it will shifting from one to another, because the group stage, it will be on a stage, the stress on the stage, the competitive vibe, it will be different totally. So they need to work around it and play around it to be in the to the best.
Yeah, exactly. It is a do or die situation right now. No more chances for you guys.
That's right. But what do you think will be their biggest adjustment they need to do?
The biggest.
Yes,
they need to they need to focus on their picks and their bans. Basically, they know their competitive teams, who they're playing against, what are their picks, what are they good at, and yeah, they need to play things around to see how are they going to work things around with the enemy team. So it is going to be very challenging, and it's a one chance thing. So no mistakes, no more. Yeah.
That's right. All right. When we look at the bracket itself, we can see that we have here Dianfeng versus Team Vamos. So who do you think will come out on top of this match? Just some analysts. We can bring some analysts into it,
To be honest, for the VMS and DFYJ, it's totally little bit competing because they are in the same state, same level of the levels of the games, and we will see not a one-sided game. It will be an equal game for both, but it depends on if DFYJ, because they have some secret picks, as I know, in the behind. So little bit, maybe they will make it.
Yeah, actually, Dianfeng actually was, they stand out very strongly yesterday. They won both of their matches. Yeah, they won both of their matches. So they're actually, trying to tell everyone that, hey, we're here, we're here, we're coming to dominate. So Team Vamos, actually, they lost the first match, but they won the second one. So they got a chance, actually, to qualify. So we're expecting a lot from Team Vamos. Dianfeng already, as I told you, they already know what they're doing. So it is going to be very challenging today.
But what do you think is the essence or the importance of winning the first game in a best-of-3 series?
It depends on the drafting and pick of and bans, because this one, it's little bit 70% of the game and 30% it will be in the map. So in the pick and bans for VMS or DFYJ, it will be the game of the mechanics and the synergies. It will be between the heroes. They will pick the combos they will do, and they will play on the late games, early games, mid game, or they will play on the snowballs routines. we will see, because VMS they totally used to little bit snowballs, and DFYJ they will play on the late games as we see in the group stages.
Yes, that is very true. That is very true. And I think there is no more chance, because usually on the first match they try to check how's the other team doing, and then they would actually strategize based on that. Today, there are no more chances for that.
Single elimination, totally no chance.
There is no testing the limits.
Yeah, there is no testing limit.
Yeah, their tournament run is going to be over, so they really have to do it. But do you think the experience outweighs mechanics in this game? If you have more experience, do you think it will outweigh the mechanics?
Yeah, to be honest, because in this game, not experience only, also mechanics and synergy between the players, between the game. Because if you have only the mechanics, it's nothing. If you are playing solo queue, but if you are in the team and on the stage and on stress of the stage, it will be totally different. You need to be on the team, chemistry between the teams, synergies between the lanes. What we will do on the 5 minutes, next 5 minutes, 3 minutes. We need to be totally.
We get
ready.
the points. Yes,
yeah.
We are talking about the Dianfeng and the Team Vamos. But what do you think matters here? Is it early gameplay or late play?
It's based on the strategy of the team itself. Some teams they would like to go for strategize early game. Try to build up until the late game. Other times they would actually want to go and finish this as early as possible, because they know that if they reach late game, it's kind of too late for them. Yeah, it becomes very hard for them. So that's why I said the draft pick is gonna say it all. It's gonna say if this team is actually going for it early or the late. They need to balance between both in some cases. So that's what we're gonna see.
I hope so, and we are gonna expect good match today. We can just feel the vibe here in the studio. But one more thing I wanted to ask: what do you think our viewers should watch in the first 5 minutes of the games?
They need to focus on the draft picks, because it will be the total, let's say, of the game, because it will count the ABC of the games, because we will see the synergies, or we will see the strategies they will choose for the total of the games. Maybe they will change it during the game, because it depends on the coach, because some coaches they will change the strategies during the maybe 10 minutes of the game, during. Or on the late games, they will change it little bit. We need to focus on the objectives, towers, minions. Depends.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we need to catch on. That's what they need to watch out for, our viewers. Okay, in this, which role do you think is the most important in playoff stage? Which role?
What I think is actually the roamer and the mid laner. If they're actually top-notch, even if any of the sides, either the gold lane or the XP lane, they have a disadvantage, they can actually cover them up. So roamer and mid laner are very important in each and every game.
Because now that's the meta. It depends on the jungle and depends on the mid lane, the mage, and the damage dealer in the game. That's why all the teams are having some same strategies in the mid lane and in the jungle, the roamer, and they are focusing on the objectives lane, and they will see where is the advantage they will take.
That is very true as well. That is very true.
Okay, since we're talking about this, but do you think, since now it's single elimination, what are the mistakes that are hard to overcome when you are in single elimination? I think one mistake here can totally ruin the tournament. But what are those mistakes?
One mistake, they need no need testing limits. Just play on the something confirmed, better than testing the limits, or just I will do it scratch and win.
Yeah.
You never know. So 50-50, don't do it. Just play on your strategy, play on your game, and play on your sense, and maybe it will win.
Yeah, definitely. They need to strategize on each and every move that they make throughout the game, actually. Or else it's, no risks taken. No risk should be taken, Sometimes games can be actually, turned to the other team in a minute. One mistake can end everything for the team, So, and I know that both teams are not going to show all their cards immediately, because they need to keep some for the finals as well, So yeah, I'm excited to see actually what are they going to show us today, and what are they going to hide for later,
Because this is a best of 3 game.
Yeah.
But I really think that they need to secure the first game. That's what I believe. Do you believe as well that?
No, of course they need to secure the first game.
Uh-huh.
Also, they need to secure the place of the quarterfinals because they will face another big team if they win, you know.
Yeah.
So
That's
they
why
need to
you're-
be predictable. They need to be ready. They need to be very secured. Like, we need to win and we need to be ready for the next match for the quarterfinals. So it will be hard for them. And also, I need to mention there is one team. It will be a dark horse. So
A
they will
dark
they will
horse.
appear from down up, like from down to up, and no one will predict it.
Actually, yeah, we actually might expect the dark horse this
Yeah.
tournament. You know.
Something that you don't expect.
Yeah.
As we
Definitely.
were saying earlier, like you didn't expect them to go
Yeah.
high on the group stage.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
okay, we are here now on the playoffs, and I wish the best for Dianfeng and Team Vamos.
We wish them all the best. We wish them all the best. We're so excited to see what they will do today.
Yeah, but you were
today's match.
discussing earlier that they cannot show immediately their cards.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
this is the playoffs. Like, they really have to secure their spots. Do you think if they show their cards, maybe they can come up with other strategies? Is that right?
If they will, like, if the games will go for 1-on-1 and there is the last game, they need like to show like all the cards to win, like, and they see, and they have the time to have the new cards and the new strategies, because coach, they will not like have out of cards, you know.
Yeah.
So all the teams have minimum cards for the like playoffs, and for the quarterfinals they will make a new card because there is like 1 day, so they will make little bit like fast as possible, you know.
Maybe that might happen, but you know it's unlikely to happen because, as I told you, if they show all their cards right now in the playoffs, you know, they might have something that they might show in the finals or not. But then this is a disadvantage for them if they have nothing extra to show. And some of the teams actually, they get stuck in the point where they have to show all their cards so they can actually
see.
qualify to the finals, you know.
But I think their coaches will do something about it.
Yeah, definitely. They
Like
should.
They will do another draft.
Absolutely.
They should, yes.
They will watch the matches of their opponents and try to come up with some strategies.
Yeah, that is very true.
But looking at the brackets earlier, can we do some analysis? Like, you saw the brackets. We saw who is competing whom. So who do you think will come up on top? Like we have here.
To be honest, for the first game, we will see, like, for VMS and DFYJ, we will see maybe DFYJ, like, they will win.
You think it's going to be Dianfeng?
Yeah, it will not be a little bit equal, as I said, but maybe we will see unpredictable things.
Yeah.
Also, for the next matches, it will be also
And I
maybe
believe-
one-sided, because in Mobile Legends, we are seeing a lot of like one-sided 10 minutes game and it's finished.
Yeah, that is very true. That is very true.
I believe Groot is Team Vamos.
Maybe.
He was saying earlier.
I would say, yeah. I'm actually rooting for Team Vamos, you know. But as Soldier said, Dianfeng is actually a very strong team, so I might expect him to win as well. But yeah, I'm Team Vamos this time. I'm Team
I
Vamos all the
think
way.
they will give us a surprise.
Hopefully.
And that's
hopefully.
what we love about here in Games of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025. Everything is just a surprise. If we're talking about, have you been to the other halls? They have their...
Totally new experience. It's a
That's
digital,
right.
like a physical and digital
They
together.
may have it all. I was there actually yesterday in the hall 10 where they do physical basketball. Digital basketball, that's how they call it. It's very nice.
Yeah, I checked the other holes as well the other day. They're actually very exciting things to see, you know. As a gamer, it's something new for me. It's
Yes,
a new
and
experience,
you can
and
really
it's fun.
feel the vibe here in
Yeah,
Adnec.
exactly. Yes. So yeah, as you said, we're hoping like people would come and experience what we've experienced because it's so much fun and it's actually worth it. Yeah, it's worth it.
I recommend
Yes.
everyone to come.
Yep.
They need to come.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, because it's very much enjoyable. It's for everyone. It doesn't have a limit of age.
Yeah.
Everyone can come. Children, your mom, your dad, even your grandparents can come.
Yeah, there is fun for everyone. Actually, there is always a chance for fun for everyone. So, not a specific age. Anyone can come. Anyone can enjoy their time over here. So yeah, you're most welcome to join us
Yes,
in
and we're
Adnec.
just really excited here because Dianfeng and Team Vamos is coming up. I think they are preparing and they're very much into it.
Yeah. I think they're kind of nervous right now. You know, they're making their final strategies. You know, to prepare before they actually join. Yeah.
All right, I think we can now. The teams are ready.
welcome Team DFYG! All right, good luck, guys. You may take your seat now. And now, Abu Dhabi, let's hear it for the opponent, Team Vamos! All right, guys, you can take your seat right now. Good luck, and let's get the competition started.
Hello? Hi, we are back again here in Game of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025. And as we can see, our teams are getting themselves ready. We have here Team Vamos and John Feng, our analyst on the stage. Can you give us something we can say to... We were talking about earlier John Feng and Team Vamos and how they are going to come up on top of this game.
As we can see, we have BMS and DFYG, like totally two teams, and they have totally different strategies, different play styles, and different journey they start with it from the playoffs, like from the group stages. And DFYG, I saw a lot of games for them, and it was tough for them to come, and it was equal games, and it was 1-1. And then they come up and they have now in the stage, and they are together with us now and playing on the stage. They have the stress of the stage and the vibe of the competitive things.
Yeah, it's actually great to see both teams here, and yeah, it's I cannot imagine how stressed they would feel right now, preparing for this match and the playoffs. So yeah, good luck for them, and it's great to see everyone here, getting ready to watch the match.
It's really exciting. The vibe here in Hall 9 is really much the best. I think we have the best audiences here in ADNEC.
Yeah. They're piling up right now, preparing to watch a great match between Team Vamos and Dianfeng. So good luck to everyone, and hope everyone would enjoy this match.
I'm very excited about the cup.
Oh yeah, I want to see it actually. Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
We have a lot of, I think, Dianfeng fans here, along with Team Vamos fans.
Yeah, there are both fans from both teams actually watching, preparing, excited to see the draft pick and the match and everything else. Oh wow, this is, I don't want to imagine myself, sitting there right now, being in this position, stressed, in front of everyone. They would actually play offline right now. They're playing in front of audience, so it is very stressful for them.
Yes, because as we said, this is single elimination, guys.
Yeah. It's
so
do or
the
die for them.
pressure is really there.
It's do or die. Yeah.
One mistake will say bye-bye to you.
Hopefully
But we
not.
wish both teams the best,
Yeah,
for sure.
we wish them all the best.
And they come up on top on group stage. So it's, they worked hard to be in this playoff.
Definitely. Rooting for Team Vamos over here. Soldier, what are you expecting? Tell me. Are you going to win?
We will see in the game.
I
Look,
think
in the paper, the FYG. But maybe in the game, it's totally different. Maybe.
Okay, let's make it like this. I have here a John Feng who believes that John Feng will win, and I have here Team Vamos.
Yeah. Yeah, that is very
So I
true.
think you need to.
You know, you want to have a bet.
Yes.
All right. You know what? Lunch is on me if John Feng wins. What do you think?
Perfect.
All right?
Deal.
We have a deal.
But if VMS will win,
You know, lunch is on you.
خلاص. Perfect.
How about me, guys?
No, you're included, no problem.
Ah,
With
okay,
two.
okay.
Both ways, you're with
Both
us.
ways, I'll have
Look,
lunch.
she have
Yeah,
win-win
free food.
situation.
Yeah, you have free food both ways. So yeah, now this is, we're preparing for the draft. And as we can see, the first ban. All right, so the first ban is Basha. The second ban from Team Vamos is Eve. So we have a roamer ban or a jungler, and we have a mid laner ban right now.
T1, I expected Eve ban because little bit like for the little bit in the playoffs, like the group stage, it was picked a lot.
Yes, it is very true, and she is such a crowd controller, to be honest with you. She has lots of slows, lots of skills that would actually, you know, be annoying for Zhang Feng. So, or Team Vamos both ways, so yeah. And of course, the second ban from Team Zhang Feng is Kalia, which is such an annoying roamer, to be honest. And we have Hilda right now. Hilda, actually, I've been playing Hilda lately a lot. You know, after the buff, she's kind of overpowered. You know, such a great roamer, can actually take a lot of damage and do damage as well in return. So that's a great ban, and we have Brock as well. So as we can see, actually, right now from the bans, that most of the bans that are happening are actually crowd control heroes, most than anything else. So they are focusing on one-on-one situations in that case. They're trying to avoid all the crowd control fights.
Because the crowd control will be like little bit annoying like during the game, because they have crowd control, they have wave clear, so it's little bit, they need to eliminate it and they need to focus on one thing.
That is very true. That is very true. And the third ban from Team Vamos, as we say, is Fanny. Of course, everyone knows Fanny, and everyone knows how annoying Fanny is if someone's actually good at playing this hero. So from the first pick from Team Zhang Feng, we have Lancelot, who is the jungler. You know, such a expected pick, to be honest. You know,
As a Lancelot fan, it will be first pick. Like he's not scaring about anyone.
yeah. But see,
Lapu Lapu.
yeah, Lapu Lapu and Yisun Shin, which is actually
Predictable.
Yeah, it's very predictable. It's very meta right now. Yisun Shin is such a great jungler right now, and we have Yuzong. Oh my God, this is going to be. It seems like this is going to be a very interesting match from the first 4 picks, as I can see. You know, they're going head to head, no mercy. You know, Yuzong is such a great hero, XP laner. Dishes a lot of damage, has very high crowd control as well. So yeah, we're expecting a lot. So we're like right now, Lapu Lapu is facing Yuzong, so this is gonna be exciting.
But for VMS, they secure for the two picks. Like the first 2 picks, it's very perfect for them.
Yeah, and actually for John Feng as well, by the way, like the first 2 picks are very great. We have Harith. I believe Harith might be a mid laner, or might be actually and Mark's a gold laner as well. So we've seen Harith actually do gold lane a lot lately, which is going to be a problem for Team Vamos because his mobility is very high and his dodge is very high. So Harith is such a great pick.
Look, for the first phase of the ban and picks, it's very equal for both of teams, and like I'm expecting new things for the phase 2 for the ban and picks, because that will matter a lot for both of teams. Also, we will see Farsa as VMS, like they have Lapu Lapu, Yusun Shin, and Farsa. That's very great phase 1 picks for them, and also for the bans for them. So VMS having little bit advantage in the picks and bans on the paper.
Yes, that is very true. But as I can see, both teams are actually going, full on damage. Actually, full on damage. They are not focusing on sustainability.
No tanks.
Tanks, no whatsoever. But actually, I believe we're gonna start seeing tanks right now, as it shows.
Maybe we'll see Tigreal because he got buff.
Yeah, that is
on the last patch. So maybe we'll see it, or we will see it as a ban.
All right, so we're expecting. So Zushin is actually banned as well. They are trying to, minimize the mage picks for Team Zhongfeng, and Ruby is is a great ban because she's such a crowd controller as well. She can be played as a roamer. So yeah, Dianfeng knows what they're doing actually.
See how many crowd controllers they eliminate.
Yeah,
they
a lot,
ban.
a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and 6 actually. Actually, and Zushin also is a crowd controller, or is
but maybe they miss it, or like maybe we can play around it, no problem.
Yeah,
Since we're talking about the bans, are we seeing respect bans here or target bans?
No, as I can see, I'm seeing target bans actually. Yeah, I'm seeing target bans. They know, each team knows, they know each
Who
other
they're
very
banning.
well. Yeah, who they're banning. So, yeah, we see Kimi as a ban as well. So Team Vamos's bans are actually on point, and they know what Team Dianfeng is trying to do over here. So they're trying to minimize their picks as much as possible.
Also for the picks, they are choosing the meta picks, like the usable picks, like we see it like every tournament.
Yeah.
Because like Yusin Shen, Labu Labu, Farsa as the, like for the right side, and left side of Esmeralda also for the ban. So it's target bans.
Yeah, they're target bans. They're actually eliminating crowd control as much as possible. So yeah, this is going to be very exciting. This is such an exciting match from the picks itself. And usually I do predict, who's going to win from the picks, but it seems like this time, no. I'm finding it very hard to actually choose, or to say who's going to win, actually, So we need to wait for their last 4 picks, and then, we will talk about it, me and you. Yeah.
I thought it was going for one-sided, but after the picks and ban for now on, it's a little bit equal, and maybe we'll see maybe third game or 1-of-1. Then we will see for the third game, because it's hard to see two-sided from the first game.
Yeah, that is very true.
But does this draft lean more towards early aggression or late game scaling?
It actually kind of shows that actually both of them are going to try to go for the early game, but they're also trying to sustain that if in case they reach the late game, how is it going to be? Right now, late game, I would say it's more Dianfeng, more Dianfeng than actually Team Vamos. But early game, it's more Team Vamos than Dianfeng, right until now.
For Team VMS, if they took the snowball for the first, and Labu Labu and Usation was they having the advantage, and they took all the objectives. For VMS, they focus on the objectives, on Turtle and Lords. They will it will be hard for DFYG to win.
Yes.
But for the other hand, if they focus on towers and minions and having snowballs for the XP, it will be better for them.
Yeah, that is very true. And the last 2 picks from Dianfeng, we had Valentina, and from Team Vamos, we have Cici. So this is going to be such an exciting game, Wow, I'm actually very, very excited to see what's going to happen over here, And actually, as I can see, both of them did not actually choose a marksman for this game. The marksman, Yisun Chin, is actually a jungler, but in the gold lane, none of them actually chose a marksman. So, yeah, we're very excited to see what will happen this match. This is going to be very, very, very exciting. Wow.
But if this goes late, which draft scales better on a late game basis?
Team VMS.
Actually, late game, I believe it's Dianfeng, to be honest. See, but although you are with Dianfeng, I'm telling you, late game, this is...
fair enough.
Yeah.
But I'm very fair person, so VMS, they have the ball to win.
Let's see. All right, we have a pause.
But see, group, the first game of the day, and we are seeing this draft. In the upcoming games, we will see totally unpredictable drafts, new things, new strategies, because the meta is changing by the day.
Yeah, that is very true. But I believe, it's better safe than sorry. Yeah. So I don't think they would actually. Some teams would like to take the risk. To be honest with you, I can see that some teams would like to take the risk. But most of the games you're going to be seeing the kind of, slight changes in the meta, small changes, not huge changes. They would actually play with the same heroes because these are the meta heroes right now, But the thing is, it's not only about the meta, it's about how to counter the meta, And most of the players, casual players, I would say, they have a hard time countering the meta. They would just go for the meta. But these teams right now, those pros, you know, in the stage right now, they know the meta, they know how to counter it, they know each and every detail, you know. So yeah, it is more fun to watch actually these teams, you know, learn from them, you know, learn from what they're doing and so on. So yeah, this is mostly why I'm here actually, you know, analyzing and actually watching and learning what they're doing.
But you are talking about risk. You know, you need to be a little wisdom. High risk, high rewards.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Keep it.
Definitely, definitely. I'm a risk taker, to be honest with you. You know, I love going off meta all the time. So yeah, we're waiting for the teams to begin.
So in this opening minutes, what should we be watching out for?
In the
opening minutes.
In the opening minutes, we're gonna see, like, you know, they're trying to test the waters. Both teams will try to test the waters, you know, see how things go. Who is actually, are they trying to finish it early game or not, you know, so they can actually choose to strategize whether to try to push it to late game or not. So yeah, this is what, in the first minutes, what we're gonna see, you know, or actually some of the teams, one of the teams would actually try to dominate immediately and show the other team that we're not here to mess around, we're here to win. So yeah.
For the first 3 minutes, it will be testing the waters for both teams.
Yeah.
And we will see others.
But in this first minutes, which lane matchup matters the most?
Mid lane,
For the mid lane and room.
Mid lane.
Yeah, jungle.
Mid lane and jungle right now are the most important actually lanes right now to focus on.
GG.
Alright, here we go. The first match of the knockout by versus Team Bamas. Your casters will be Wolf and Nightwing.
Yes, sir.
Man, this is going to be an interesting match because Super Kid is back on his Lancelot. This guy made waves yesterday.
Hey, man, you know, we've had a couple days of some groups. We've had some interesting matches. I think even for the performance we heard about, I mean, we didn't get to cast it because we were on the other stream, but DFYG, I think, surprised a lot of people. You know, they had a great game, especially against Onyx. I think, you know, they had maybe that was the longest game, man. That was that 31 minutes, I think they had. By the way, they had the Barretts, Wolf. I was asking for it all day on stream A, man, 2 days in a row, and it was actually on stream B that goes in the hands of Kyrie.
Yeah, it's very funny. And just for context, guys, we were streaming on a different stream, and Naisu was just asking for the Barretts constantly all throughout. And I think that it would have been very surprising for you to watch a 30-minute Barretts game, but that wasn't the case. However, we have to focus on what we are seeing right now. I think DFYG have found a great awakening with Super Ken just being so comfortable in this kind of meta game where there is a lot of assassins that could be available, particularly his assassin Lancelot. So now, Turtle Fight's about to commit.
All right, Turtle Fight for the taking. Super Ken start doing his thing here. Dangerous Grass once again, part of this play into the objective. He's going to use that Phantom Execution. He'll secure it. Super Ken getting the turtle. Not sure if they actually want to fight this. Another airstrike drop down too. A little bit of knock into the air. Zorn quite low. That shot is so close, man. Being able to help out the damage there, but no one falling. Not sure if Yone wants to actually potentially pressure that purple buff, but it looks like he's not going to. So good little take there. An advantage, at least for the turtle, for DFYG.
This movement around with Super Ken to invade and actually cope and actually force the vengeance onto Natko. Long might be in range for get a kill, and indeed they will. What a rotation from DFYG.
Yep, there's a kick as well coming through. Zed going to be the one to go down. It's a nice little trade cross map. Couple kills in the mid for that top. Long, Mr. Long, man. He's been part of this competitive scene now for a long time. He's getting a good look here. You know, maybe we get to see his Moskov too. Right? I feel like that's his signature hero, the Moskov for Long. But he's got the Harith. And, you know, we talked about how the recent patch just a couple days ago changed a lot of potential what could happen, you know, in some of the lanes of some of the heroes. We got to see glimpses of it. The Tigreal yesterday, for example, I hope we get to actually see that pop up one more time. But, yeah, so far, I think for Long, you just want to go ahead and get that power spike as fast as you can on a Harith who technically had a bit of a nerf. But warranted. I feel like I've had my fill of Granger Harith, man. I think we've had that for the better part of this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. However, it seems like the FYG will still play this Harith. It's a strong lane. I would say Team Vamos will have a lot of answers to this Harith. They already have the CC, and looks like there will be a cash in the bottom lane. Oh,
Right.
pick one of that. But anyways, nice. A kill onto Vel is important for Team Vamos because the turtle is going to spawn. That's the second turtle of the game, and Team Vamos have already accumulated 3 kills. This progression that they are showing to us prompted the FYG to just give up the second turtle, and that will mean that they will be recovering when it comes to the overall gold.
Yeah, part of this too for Team Vamos, right? A team that likes to play a little bit around the meta, you know, with some signature picks, like we saw, for example, Zorn with the Hellcurt earlier on yesterday. And, you know, the way that they play this kind of lineup, it's a little more traditional, right? It's kind of just going through the reps. They've gone through these reps many times. Zorn doing his thing here on the Cho. We've seen the Cho actually be quite deadly so far in Games of the Future for MLBB. You know, just in a couple days, at least over even on Stream A, we saw it pop up in almost every series. And the specialist Cho players out there like Zorn are able to do such a good job at setting things up for the team. And that's why Team Vamos, you know, they've slowly built into the lead that they have right now. It's nothing massive, right? So it's literally 100 gold, but the way they're moving around the map is that advantage, which is around Zorn. And not only that, but the advantage is also the fact that you have your early kind of boost on Farsa for Clockroon, man. This feathered airstrike is going to hurt. And there's the kick that I was talking about. Even with a revitalize, he's going to be bursted down. And that's what I'm talking about with this Farsa. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's you just kick, you drop down the feathered airstrike, and it's literally a kill.
Yeah. And to add to that, Zorn has been so phenomenal with the Cho for a very long time now. One of the specialists, as you have mentioned earlier today. And that's interesting. The Valentina had to copy the ultimate of the Decent Chain to provide vision, but also to get out. Lapu outplaying Vel once again. It's the second death onto Vel very early into this game.
Big pickup there. Fight up here on the top side. Clockroon is going to try to flicker away. He does get away too. Oh, with 1 HP. Some way, somehow able to survive. Still in the mid lane. A fight breaks out as well. So despite all that, no one actually going down. I'm surprised Clockroon held on to that flicker for the longest time until he eventually burned it. This turtle is up. It's for the taking. DFYG's in position. Super Ken just around the corner too, alongside Arrow 404 for Team Vamos. Not sure if they have the space to work with, and Arrow 404 is a little bit too low, so they just have to give up that last turtle to DFYG. And Zed will go ahead and just jump on out. So I'm not sure if they're going to actually go for a play. Zorn, every time that flickers up, you never know. It looks like they're going to try to spot this out. Zed's not sure if he should leave either. He's like, are you guys going to be okay here under the turret? They jump in. Thorn Rose going to be used. Nice use of the puncture too. So they keep it from breaking out into a fight under the bottom tier 1 turret.
Yeah. Good job, Zed, for staying in that area. Would have been very explosive for Team Vamos to have 4 versus 2 out there. Zed just canceling the recall at the right moment. You know what's really scary about the patch is that, well, before that, there's going to be a kick. And for sure, even through the revitalize, that guy is dead. No ultimate onto the Gadot means that there's no defensive AOG that's going to happen. What I'm saying earlier today, is what's interesting about the patch is that even when you lead by a lot of gold and you are winning when it comes to momentum, the moment that you just slip and not have a proper positioning on the neutral objectives, a team that is behind can actually take that neutral objective away from you. That's exactly what happened out there.
Yeah.
The Yi Sun-shin was just a little bit mispositioned, and that allowed Vel to gain enough momentum to pop the ultimate and also DFYG to get that third turtle. And now the game is even.
Yeah, the game's even here at this point. Again, economically, they're doing a good job at maintaining things under control for DFYG, but I still got to say, you know, it's what I mentioned earlier with Team Vamos, it's the way they're moving around the map. They have like control to go ahead and go for these fights despite the economic balance here between both teams, right? They built up a lead, but DFYG just really doesn't seem to be able to find a fight because of this. It's always the Gatakacha that's going to be focused by the kick. Zed this time around will actually survive. Doesn't pull the trigger on the Revitalize either, but he's going to get stunned now. Super Ken trying to get out. A Feathered Airstrike. Drop down. Popping the Revitalize this time. A couple shots. He's going to AOG defensively. But this is a clear sign now. Team Vamos can make their way for this Lord take. Vel's here. Yone has his own kick. Stolen from Zorn. They'll take him down low, and I'm not sure actually if Team Vamos can secure this as easily as they hoped.
So, Lord, and this is the dangerous grass. You also have to take care of that. Take note of that. And that also will mean that there is this little advantage that Aero 404 has over the FYG, which is the information that you get out of the Mountain Chopper. However, you still have to think about this Lancelot with the Thorn Rose and the Retribution play. And Super Ken was just so on fire with this Lancelot. This was a first pick Lancelot for the FYG. You cannot blame them. Super Ken has been phenomenal the past few days with this Lancelot. So, gotta be mindful of that if you're Team Vamos.
See how they handle this. Cisco gonna jump in. Again, using that Bravest Fighter, but they just call it off. Disengage from that Lord take. Mid lane. Take a little focus here. Those tier 1s being up in the mid lane still really help keep things kind of under control and makes this space that they're fighting for a little bit tougher to deal with. Again, it's dangerous grass as well, so one of the teams have been playing around this bottom bush if they can. There's a kick from Yone taking the medicine to Zorn. Taking a taste of his own medicine. Revitalize is going to be popped. The Feathered Airstrike a little bit out of range to deal with his team fight. Down one member. Team Vamos doesn't want to let up. They're not going to give an angle for DFYG to take this Lord freely as they're still pretty healthy here and they're still in good form to contest this or delay it until Zorn's back up here in a couple of seconds. Bell will be spotted out of that brush. Super Ken's going to go ahead and start this up under half health right now. Aero 404 making his way, but Yone is there to block him out and zone him out with Black Dragon form. So Super Ken will be able to get the Lord. A Feathered Airstrike drop down, and Aero 404 can't get away from the Shy Essences with a flicker forward from Siska to clean it up. The 2-for-1 trade, but the Lord going to the hands of DFYG.
Wow. That was actually a good start for DFYG, the way that they set up the trap for Zorn, because they know that eventually Zorn will look for an opening. But DFYG were ready. It kind of felt like it was already a winning team fight for DFYG. They did win on the Lord, but they've lost 2 of their members afterwards. The biggest trade, however, is the kill onto Air 404. So, it would have been disastrous for DFYG to lose 2 of their heroes after the first Lord. However, they took out an important piece of the puzzle for Team Vamos, which was Air 404. Now, they can collect more real estate around the map. Fortunately for Team Vamos, they have stellar defense because of this Farsa. And they will be able to defend. The best that DFYG could hope for might be to take out maybe all of the turrets in the bottom lane and maybe a mid lane turret.
See if they can, man. It's I've been saying that off that Lord. They really don't get too much, you know. Even Team Vamos still holding on to that tier 1 in the mid lane. So not a huge value on that Lord take, basically. You know, but they do kind of shift things a little bit in their favor if you consider, you know, taking care of that gold lead that they had. Super Ken's trying to get away here. He's Feathered Airstrike. He's going to bomb and weave through out of it. He's going to be fine, though. Again, the mobility with that Lancelot. Meanwhile, up top, Aero 404. Bobbing and weaving himself. The jungler is making a move and a groove. There's a kick, though, on Vel. Vel trying to heal back up. Will be able to take a shot. Zorn, though, can't clean it up unless Siska can. Siska jumping in with the Bravest Fighter. He comes on through to slay down Vel. Good pickup there in a response up on the top side.
Yeah. Constellation Bryce, a tier 2 turret up top, which gives them a lot of value, obviously, but at the expense of the 4th death and a Petrify onto this Yu Zhong. Fortunately for them, they will have the Petrify as well as the ultimate onto Yu Zhong come the next Lord fight, but DFYG cannot afford those kind of mistakes. In fact, Team Vamos will be quick to punish as they have already set up shop up top. They have taken out the first turret, and then they're poised to take the second one. Zorn, even without any threat, have already planted himself out there to counter any kind of retaliation coming up from DFYG. Great movements from Team Vamos, and because of that, they have regained control of this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Natko wants to force a fight here. Another Feathered Airstrike drop down, but not going to be able to kill Zed now. A little bit more tanky this portion of the game here for Zed. He's dealt with such a rough early game. You know, the constant kicks from Zorn being kicked into a feathered airstrike. But now that he's got some of those defensive items, he's able to go ahead and hold on a little bit longer. And that's going to be so crucial with the Gata Contra. You know, you need to be able to go ahead and use that Avatar of the Guardian. If not that, then at least provide that vision and even just catch someone with the Unbreakable. And again, for our viewers out there that, you know, might not be aware, that patch that dropped a couple days ago, the Gata Contra now has to charge his Unbreakable a little bit longer to get the max taunt and the max range on it. Gone are the days of just tapping, you know, the skill 2, that Unbreakable, to be able to have that max range and taunt effect.
It'll be a longer team fight in the Lord. The slow push being set up top. I feel like Team Vamos are going to have a better long lane control here. But the dangerous grass, Vel is already positioned in that spot.
A kick again, taking out Siska. That's a huge pick off from Yone. Now fighting for the Lord. It's at a quarter of the health. They're still going to deal with Vel, though, in the Dragon form, but Super Ken will secure the Lord. And now Zorn trying to get away. He's got the Shaw Senses stacked up on him as Vel takes another 2 down for Team Vamos, and TFYG will massively swing this game in their favor now as they get the Lord and they get ready to knock down some more turrets here. That tier 2 bottom side will fall. And we'll see if Team Vamos can get this base defense under control with this Lord pushing in up top.
Great timing and great execution coming out from DFYG. It's not easy to outplay or to surprise a Yi Sin because of the Mountain Shocker, but the timing coming out from DFYG and the fact that they have taken advantage of the dangerous Super Ken with a solo kill. Oh my goodness.
Man, hey man, Super Ken will take it.
To be banned, man.
Ban the Lancelot. Ban Super Ken. What a play. That's how confident he is right now with Arrow 404 being down. Look at him. He's going to jump into the base. Thorn Row is going to be used. Puncturing on through. Working with this Lord here. They potentially could end it. Going for it. Zorn trying to delay the inevitable here. Diamond Force going to be dropped down. And Long will unleash here on Siska. A feathered airstrike to try to clear out this Lord to pump out enough damage. But even Napko can't get away from Yone. And now the base is going to be worked on. It's hold at half health. But with 2 members left alive from Team Vamos, it won't be enough for game 1 as DFYG is victorious.
It's a tug of war that DFYG were able to win and outlast Team Vamos because of good execution, good usage of the map as well. The dangerous grass worked in their favor because of Vel's positioning. Never mind how many deaths he got during the early stages of the game. As long as you nail that ultimate and crucial Lord takes, you're gonna have fun. And we can see some of the highlights that we've seen today. Of course, accented by Super Ken's stellar performance on this Lancelot.
Yeah, the Lancelot, I don't know. Maybe that's the answer. We'll ban out the Lancelot. But let's see what the studio has to say. Let's go ahead and throw it over them to break down game 1.
That wraps up game 1 of the series. We just finished game 1 of the series here at Games of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025. It's a strong opening exchange from both sides, and we are already seeing how this series might shade up. Let us start, Board. What was your biggest takeaway from game 1?
All right, game 1, you know, as expected, I knew that if this game would actually, if it went on late game, then Dianfeng would have the upper hand, you know, so that's what GG's, of course, Soldier, you chose Dianfeng, and yeah, as expected, you know, Team Vamos was actually trying to be in control most of the game. They tried to push it to the early game, but Team Dianfeng knew that, you know, they had to actually try to take it to the late game, and this is where they had the upper hand, so congratulations to Team Dianfeng on the first win.
Looking at the statistics, what can we say about this?
To be honest, DFYG, they totally have playing on the snowball, and they win in the first minutes, and they have snowballs on the towers, minions and waves, and have focused on their things, and they got the win, and they deserve it.
Yes, basically, yeah, they were focused on the objectives mostly than anything else. As you can see from the stats over here, you know, the total gold for the FYG
difference.
Yeah, it was a huge difference. The towers destroyed 7-3, Lord slain, 2 Lord slain. Actually, the first Lord fight was quite interesting because it seemed like VMS was actually going to take the first Lord, but Lancelot from Team DFYG actually stole the Lord, which was quite exciting, although it was a 2-1 kill for VMS. The Turtle Lane also, there was a challenge, there was competition on that 2-1, and the buffs, of course, the purple-orange buffs. DFYG was basically in control of the entire match, but the kills went to VMS, but DFYG knew what they were doing. They were objective focused, they were moving in synergy with each other, most than VMS actually.
But where do you think the momentum really starts to shift?
From the 8th minute onwards, it showed that actually DFYG started showing their claws basically, this is where actually the turn happened in the game basically. Yeah.
When the snowball happens and the Lord stone, then the shifting of the game starts for the FYG.
Yes.
They have the upper hand and they know how to deal with it.
Exactly.
How important do you think is this game one in a best of 3?
It showed both teams what they're signing up for. It showed them that the enemy team is actually focused on one thing. It showed that both teams are actually, trying to get the win, and they're very professional at what they do. Moving on to the next match, I believe the strategies will change for both teams. Yeah, it will totally change. We might actually see Team DFYG trying to pursue the early game, and Team Vamos actually trying to get to the late game. This is what I'm expecting for the next match to happen, actually.
Soldier, do you think this is more about preparation or execution?
To be honest, for the first game it was executions more than preparations. But now for the two teams, VMS have one mistakes or one chance to win, and they get back to be a 1-1 equals. But for the FYG now they have relaxed a little bit because they have upper hand and they have one chance, like no problem to have a mistake, or we have testing limits now. They have they can rest. But for the VMS now, they have the extra or the double stress.
Yeah, that is very true, but I don't think the FYG is going to take that risk, to be honest with you. I think they're going to still try to aim for the win, basically, because they don't want to take any more risks. Because if they lose the second match, they might actually lose the third, so this is actually going to be stressful for them as well. So I think they will actually go for the win for the second match.
You were talking about the draft earlier. Do you think there will be big draft changes in Game 2?
Unlikely to happen. I would actually love for a big draft change to happen, to be honest with you, but it's unlikely to happen. I believe there might be slight chances, small changes in the draft, but not major ones.
Maybe for DFYG, maybe they will continue on the same draft, but VMS they will little bit changing, like by 50%, because they know their mistakes and they know like we cannot pick the same picks and the same game style and we will lose, like because you are repeating the same thing. Maybe they will change the cards, they will change, like maybe they have the pocket picks, they have the snowball picks, we don't know behind the scenes. So everything, it's cooking in silent.
Yes, actually we're let's see what's going to happen on the second match, very excited to see.
Earlier we were talking about the draft. You were voting for Dianfeng, right?
Yeah.
And you were voting for Team Vamos.
Yes.
So was what you expected or not really?
For Team Vamos, actually from the pick and the ban, I was expecting Dianfeng to win, to be honest. Unless Team Vamos would actually try to seal the game early. But watching the game, I knew what's gonna happen. I knew that this was gonna end not well for Team Vamos. The longer the game stayed, I was like, oh my god, okay, this is gonna happen. Soldier is gonna win. Lunch is gonna be on me this time. So
and don't forget about me.
Yeah, of course. You're a win-win situation, anyways, right? So yeah. So as we can see here, Super Ken actually got 3 kills, 0 deaths, and 5 assists. So Super Ken, we want to say he is the MVP of today's match.
It was a quick match and a quick MVP.
Yeah.
And still, maybe if he can continue in the same MVP and for the next match.
Let's see. All right. So we are going to have I think we have around a couple of minutes before the second match will start. The teams right now are resting, they're relaxing right now, prepping for the second match. Team Vamos is in stress right now, trying to figure out what they will do actually for the next match.
this is the best moments and the best like the total important minutes of the total of the games, because you will reset your minds, reset your brain cells, and you will like it will focus on one thing, focus on like the mistakes we have done, and focus on the advantage we can take for Team VMS and DFYG, how to get better and better and the best of the best. So they will continue on the same rhythm, same chemistry, same synergy. They need to continue, because if they didn't continue, VMS, they would take the advantage from them.
Definitely, yes. And we want to also see from the people watching on our social media channels, who do you think is going to win in the second match? Is it going to be DFYG, and they will seal the win and, you know, guarantee their qualification to the finals, or will Team Vamos have something else to say?
Do you think it will be more lane focused or rotation based?
Actually, I believe it's going to be rotation-based mostly than lane-focused. Because as we saw from the first match, you know, they were trying to go back and forth on all lanes, you know, trying to push. Mid lane had the most clashes, actually. Both of the teams were actually trying to hold on to their mid lanes as much as they could, until the Lord was stolen from Lancelot from Team DFYG. This is where things are starting to change a little bit. Team Vamos started losing ground, you know, losing most of their grounds, and you know, it made it easier for Team DFYG to move around in the map more freely, with more freedom and more confidence, actually. And I believe Team DFYG in the next match, they're going to be, you know, they're going to be very confident, but not to the point that, you know, they reach an overconfidence of that they might lose, actually, you know, because overconfidence might actually make you make mistakes, you know, in the end. So I think they're going to be very focused. I think they are, they know what they want to do. They know that they want to win. They know that they want to reach the finals and meet all the strong teams waiting for them in the finals, like RQ Hoshi, like Aurora, like Rora, and also Onyx. Yeah, so they want to get there.
As we said, if you focus on the mid lane and the rumors, like the jungle side, you will like easily, like you have the freely to move in the map, and you have the advantage to help the other lanes to like to have freely. Also, you can open the map for you more and more, and you can reach, like you have more advantage to have a view in the map. You have rotations in the map, and you can do traps for the other team.
Yes,
and they can follow.
Yes, that is very true. I'm still rooting for Vamos. I really want Vamos to win. All right, and and I know they're very good players. I know they did a great job. You know, they did a great job. Vamos did a wonderful job, but they need to focus more on objective more than anything else.
That was a great analysis, so we'll take a short break, and when we return, more action from Games of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025.
Abu Dhabi and UAE at the moment seems to be the epicenter of autonomous, robotics, and many other activities.
we're back into the ban phase now, and this is where preparation and adaptation really come into play. So, what story do you think these first bans tell us?
The first bans from the first match, it was very, focus oriented. And yeah, let's see the bans this time. How is it going to be? As the first ban is actually an immediate ban. It seems like Vamos is scared of Fanny, and they know that someone from DFYG is actually a Fanny Pro. So, that no kidding, first ban immediately. And of course, the second ban from Team DFYG is Basha. So
now they have the blue side and they have. So we will see a little bit for them as a blue side, but DFYG they have red side and they have like one game they win, but still. Still, we will see in the papers what will have in the ban and picks during the game. The first two.
You think these bans reacting to game one or just the overall meta?
it actually looks like the overall meta because it seems number one, no difference at all. Fanny, Hilda, Kalea, and Basha. So yeah, we're actually seeing the same bans. They're not taking any risks until now. Think of something else in their bans. We're going to see from Team VMS right now. Who are they going to ban? Is it going to be one of the meta heroes, or is it going to be someone else who was actually an annoying factor in the first game?
Do you expect these bans to stay consistent across the series?
Because now meta it's also the buffs and nerfs happens, and it affecting also the tournament, and we will see also like ban and picks for them, and there is a target ban as we see in the first pick, as we see in the first match.
Yes, and as we saw right now, actually the third ban from Team Vamos is actually Eve as well, which confirms our theory that actually, yeah, they're just going for the bans, they're just going for the meta bans, they're not taking any risks whatsoever. Although we as audience would love to see risks, we would love to see all the meta heroes, clashing, but that's not going to happen since Grok also got banned. First pick, Lancelot. That's what that's what actually Team Dianfeng did in the first game. So BMS was like, okay, this time we're taking Lancelot. And
they changed.
Yeah, they changed.
Labu Labu.
Yeah, Labu Labu. They're changing roles right now, as I can see.
We see who is playing Labu Labu better.
Yeah, actually, they're actually challenging each other right now. They're saying, okay, you played Labu Labu the first game, you didn't win. We will show you how to play with Labu Labu this game.
And I will take your Lancelot.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see. And of course, the second pick for Team DFYG is Harith, which is who's actually going to be taking care of the gold lane. All right, Team Vamos is actually taking Esmeralda this time. All right, since he was banned the last game, so they were like, no, we're gonna take her immediately. We're not gonna wait for the second ban phase to start. We don't want to take the risk. And let's see, Esmeralda on the ground. What is she going to do this game? And of course, Farsa is also going to be one of the picks for Team Vamos.
For the first phase of the ban and picks, it shows like there is a lot of picks for them, and they took Harith, Labu Labu for VMS. Also for VMS, they are taking Farsa, Esmeralda, and Lancelot. It's totally interesting picks. Crook, and they're banning Ruby as the first game.
Yes, they just banned Ruby just like the first game, but there is a new pick that we are seeing right now from Team DFYG, which is Hayabusa. Hayabusa is such a great hero, such a, can actually, join the fight and leave the fight in a glimpse, so we're excited to see Hayabusa this game.
And who's playing with Hayabusa? It's like the playstyle of Hayabusa, it's totally hard. You need to play, you need to have a movement, faster movement.
Yes, exactly. You need to have super fast fingers in order to play with Hayabusa, because one small delay, it's over for you. So that's why Hayabusa is for actually pro players and such a great hero to play with. Now the fourth ban for Team Vamos is actually Gatotkacha, who is such a great roamer. He has very high crowd control, very high taunting as well when it comes to fights. So and can dish out actually very high damage in some cases. So yeah, Garakacha is actually an expected ban as well. We are waiting for the last ban from Team DFYG. And who do you expect the ban is going to be?
Maybe Tigreal?
I don't think so. I don't think so. It's going to be Tigreal. Might be, but
Maybe.
from the picks, Yuzong. All right.
Oh, makes sense.
All right, so Yuzong is a ban. Yuzong was very annoying the previous game. They don't want Team Vamos to actually take the advantage of playing with Yuzong this game. As we can see from Team Vamos, they already settled the jungler, the mid laner, and the XP laner. Although Esmeralda can be played as a roamer as well in some cases. So we are still trying to figure out if Esmeralda is going to be an XP laner or a roamer. As for Team DFYG, their fourth pick is Chu. So Chu is most probably going to be a roamer in that case, since Lapu Lapu is there in Team DFYG, and he's most probably going to be an XP laner. All right. Oh, wow. We are
they are
okay.
taking some new cards.
Yes, yes. Novaria is such a great marksman actually in this meta, and Guinevere, who is a great crowd controller. So as we can see right now, Guinevere is going to be an XP laner, and Esmeralda is going to be a roamer. And yeah,
To be honest, on the paper, Adham, it's totally like for the VM Harith, Labu Labu, Hayabusa, and go
Chu.
Chu.
Yeah,
And for the last one, it's
Valentina.
now Valentina.
Yeah.
The FYG. They're trying to counter the counter picks, and they're trying to take the priorities of the first game.
This is going to be a very hard game
for
both, mostly for VMS, since they have an actual marksman right now, and you have lots of counters for the marksman. We have Chu, we have Harith, and we have Hayabusa. So Novaria needs to be able to assist Team Vamos in the late game if they actually reach the late game. So yeah.
So drafts like this usually tell us how the games will be played. Are you still on your team?
Yeah.
We're still in the same line.
Okay.
Because this, we are predicting scenarios the same.
So, okay, everything's locked and loaded. Let's throw it to the casters and get into the game.
Here we are, game number 2. Super Ken on this Hayabusa. Air 404 on the Lancelot. We know that these two junglers from both teams are really good at assassin, and we're going to see another showdown. Both a nice thing about this. It's Hayabusa versus the Lancelot, and Obsidia is in, man.
I was just gonna ask you, man. The Obsidia coming through, I think I was kind of surprised by that in the draft here. It's like, I remember when Obsidia came out, everyone was like, you know, is she gonna be OP? Is she gonna do all this that we usually see? And hold on, Zed, whoa, getting a little overzealous. Error 404 will clean up a kill. Both junglers picking up their own, trading both roamers going down, right? But yeah, going back to my point, I feel like when Obsidia came out, a lot of people were wondering just how she would be utilized in that current meta. And I feel like teams, it took them a while to figure it out. Not that many teams, though, even globally, use the Obsidia too much. Like, it was very specific teams or players that like to go ahead and play that. And I know she didn't get any changes, right? In the patch, like, she was untouched. So
Yes.
I just feel like Obsidia as a whole is kind of like in this neutral ground. Like, she can be good if she's able to scale up and get to the point where she needs to, or she does abysmal, you know? And that's not just because she's from the Void. Like, she can do really, really poorly. So that's something definitely you want to watch out for, how Nako plays this game here.
What I noticed is that in the past months, like the better half of the season, especially when Obsidia was introduced, it was the Granger Harith show, basically.
I think it still is a bit.
One of the strong in the early stages.
Strong in the early stages here. Arrow 404 will be able to claim that first turtle. Is Vel going to push this for Zorn? Okay, he does it, but now Vel might actually get punished himself as he does. A little overextension there. DFYG, but they trade it. Trading that turtle, going in the hands of Team Vamos. So a kill plus an objective, and yes, as you were saying, Wolf.
Yeah, I think the reason why people are not, I mean, at least from our region in Southeast Asia, and particularly in the Philippines, why there hasn't been much Obsidia is because why would you go for an unsafe pick when you can just pick up Granger and Harith, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, because there are so many good assassins in the hero pool that we have, it's difficult to pull up a traditional marksman.
Is Zorn going to be able to get away from this? Oh, no.
Oh, my
Super Ken
goodness.
goes back with a shadow, but he does get punished himself. And now Zed might be next. Uses the kick, though, just barely surviving. Good play there by Zed to stay alive. And this is Vel claiming a lot of extra gold up here on that gold turret. Gold plating up here up top.
Oh. I wonder, like, for Team Vamos, what we do know is they have this Lancelot, I mean the Guinevere with the Farsa, which is such a great combo. If they continue on pressuring DFY3 and just punishing Vel, for example, the Lapu-Lapu, this will be a really good game for them because right now they're even oppressing this gold lane. If they still get this outer turret shields, it will be massive, and I thought the Harith will be enough to defend. Okay, they will not push through. But that would have been a great way for them to kind of increase their gap, gold gap.
If they're able to increase a little bit further. Nice initiation, a forward play, and a recall from Zorn too. After that, again, this Guinevere we have seen so much lately in the past couple days here, Wolf. Well, now it's in the hands of Zorn as a roam instead of in the jungle. So,
yeah,
great initiation. They're able to get this turtle as well. Clockhoon actually survives the shadow kill, so he's going to be fine. And now this is an aggression play from Arrow 404. Going to be going for Super Ken. Super Ken, will he be able to get away? That he does. A feathered airstrike drop down too. A little bit charged here with Falling Star Moon. They're going to go for Zed. Siska jumps in on the turret, but doesn't want to overcommit to this unless they juggle it around. A jump in from Zorn, and now Vel joining the fight a little bit late. Comes down with Land Shaker. Popping off here, but not enough damage on this Lapu-Lapu just yet. But look at this. Siska comes in, staying around in the mid lane. Will finally have to flicker out. There's the shadow kill. Clockhoon takes a couple of the hits himself to keep Siska alive, and now Super Ken could be in a bad position. Man. Team Vamos absolutely punishing DFYG.
Great synergy coming out from Team Vamos. You see how they get in and out of the fight there. It seems like it looks like a rally, actually, like a badminton or a ping pong rally or a tennis rally. We've seen from Team Vamos, they're just passing the ball around, and it looks very, very good. For example, when Clockhoon tried to evade the jump coming out from Vel, this guy did not overly commit onto the Lapu-Lapu and went for the Valentina instead, which gave him a kill, and they will get more even as Zed is getting outplayed across the map. Clockhoon and Zorn are just so good at making the plays happen for Team Vamos.
Good plays there. Again, very aggressive, and they kind of have to just kind of give that up here. Look at this positioning too from Team Vamos. Siska will take
great is the win times in this game, and
that's going to be, I don't know if DFYG is going to get there, man.
It's going to be up to how they
goes. Time to shine. He pops out jungle. Super Ken might not see as possible with this kind of lead. 7, almost 8,000 gold ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, Zed's going to try to make a play, I think. He's charging up.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, the jump in. Zorn actually goes in. He already has the immortality, so he's actually going to be fine. The flicker. Shadow kill going to be used as Vel's trying to get back to the base, trying to disengage from this as Siska cuts them off. A tier 2 turret finally falling. And that's going to be the last shield that pops as well. DFYG in a tough position now up to this point.
Not even a tickle of damage for Siska from that Ogi Shadow kill. And we talked about how this became exactly what happened. You saw that he jumped in front of 3 men. How strong he is. This is immortality and a couple of casual items for the Guinevere. Silence rope for magic. Belt of Ares obviously giving
build, man.
It's a Zorn build. And
you know
also, he has more gold compared to the Farsa. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I to jump in, get that focusing mark activated, and then that kick from Zed to keep Arrow 404 from 7,000 gold ahead.
See, walk of shame coming out from Ewon. The Valentina popping the peer way too much on point, and Valentina could not survive that. Even the shadow kill tried to defend the mid lane with that. Super Ken just cannot output enough damage to even be a threat for Team Vamos. This is looking to be a one-sided affair. Esmeralda from Siska is a good pick that cannot escape them.
Trying to disengage here. Zed trying to buy some time with Jifendo, but he's dealt with by Siska. He's going to have to heal back up. The Lord was cleared out, but the waves pushing in on every front as Team Vamos is looking to take it to Game 3 in this elimination match. A Feather Airstrike dropped down again from Clarkoon. Zed will go down to the jump in forward, but the base is going to be worked on and locked on forward. They're looking to end it here, but clearing out the waves, and Team Vamos will take Game 2.
Sure, very happy about that because of a one-sided game for Team Vamos. They started with the draft. This Esmeralda answered 3 of the heroes of the FYG, the Lapu-Lapu, Harris, as well as the Cho. Putting it, have made a lot of work with this Guinevere in combination with the Lancelot. The first, of course, focus very much on what we are allowing the teams to prepare. Get back to the
How do you sum up this series so far with it sitting at
Although their picks were actually didn't focus on he is,
They cannot resist this.
you know, and Esmeralda also did a great do them for this amazing game that we've watched.
The chemistry they come up with this game, it was totally like unpredictable.
Definitely.
Because I like the chemistry between them during the game, during the objectives taking, more than the FYJ.
Yes, yes.
But in terms of execution, who's been cleaner overall?
The VMS.
VMS.
Oh, VMS, definitely. VMS, they're very synergized with each other in this game. They knew what they were doing. It seemed like they knew what they were doing. They knew their objectives. They knew when to start the fight and when to back out. So Team Vamos actually stood out this match compared to the first one.
And the scenario of what during this game, no towers taking, no objective in the game.
Yeah.
More disciplines among the two
Yeah.
regarding objectives.
Yes, yes. And Guinevere actually was taunting the FYG a lot in this game. You know, I think he was trying to piss them off, you know, and they might have actually, you know, he might have got to their nerves, you know, in this game. But I know Team DFYG is way more professional than, you know, like they would actually not get like emotional throughout the game. So, but yeah, Guinevere was actually on point this match.
But do you think any player under pressure right now?
Of course. The whole team of the FYG.
Yeah.
Because now, not the whole team, because the two teams. Now only one mistake like will get you down, or they will one objective that will make you up.
Exactly.
So it's 1-1, and now the winner will go to the next stage. So we will see more stress and more chemistry and more scenarios we will see in the next games, because and new hidden cards also.
Definitely, definitely.
You were talking earlier about MVP, so
Yeah.
meaning the most valuable player. But do you think this is a star player game or more like a team-driven game?
It is actually, you know, I would say it's both. But I would prefer like the MVP would be actually the team spirit and the team playing game more than actually the star of the game. But we do have a star for each and every game. You know, the person with the most, you know, effective play, you know, throughout the game. So yeah, Error 404 with Lancelot, he actually did amazing, you know.
That's a great analysis, but we will be on break right now. Catch you after this. It will be the drafting. exciting game, and we're officially into the ban and pick stage. Everything we've seen so far comes.
A lot, actually, a lot, because the ban on the picks is actually takes around 70% of the game, basically. Soldier might, do you agree with me on that?
Of course, 70%, as I said, and the 30% it's the scenarios in the game and the strategies. Because the only strategies that's happening during the game, that's the thing. And as we see in the 2 games in the back, we see a lot of strategies and a lot of switching and chemistries in the game, because BMS surprised us with the chemistry between them, and the collaborations happens. That's the thing they won. As we can see in the pick and bans Adham, it's happening like the same picks and bans, and the meta bans, also a little bit of the target bans between the 2 teams.
Yes. But as for the bans, as you can see right now, Soldier, Lancelot joined the ban list this time. Yeah, finally, you know, because I think both teams, they realize that whoever picks Lancelot is most likely going to win, you know. And now we're seeing some actually heroes from the ban list joining the game this time. And the first pick from DFYG is Hilda. And oh my god, Hilda is going to be so annoying for VMS. I can tell from right now, you know. I know how annoying Hilda can be, actually.
For the first pick, as Hilda, it will be annoying, and it will be a little bit pain in the team.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to see right now from Team Vamos, what are they going to do regarding this Hilda pick? How are they going to try to counter it? How are they going to try to overcome this pick, which is not going to be easy? We are expecting a Yi Sun-Shin and a Yu Zong, so this is very exciting from Team Vamos. As I can say right now, from now, Soldier, I can say that this game is going to be on fire, actually.
Yu Sun-Shin, we didn't see it in the second game, and we saw it in the in the third game.
Yeah.
Because Yu Sun-Shin, it's a mark in the team, like it's adding an objectives thing in the team who's picking, and giving a chance to having advantage and having snowball.
Soldier, after the first 2 games, do you think there is a must ban hero?
Yeah, of course. The must ban, it was Lancelot, because who's picking Lancelot, he's having an advantage of winning. And also we are seeing also Labu Labu again for team DFYG. They are not surrendering. Like, we will take it again, and we will teach BMS how to win.
Soldier, do you think we're seeing player-specific bans now?
Specific bans for players, we can see Farsa, we can see Ruby, as we see it in the two games. Also for the Harith, we can see it.
I can see actually Vamos is actually kind of comfortable right now with the Guinevere pick, although the FYG is actually, you know, they picked Hayabusa again, although in the second game they had a hard time. Hayabusa had a hard time, but I believe since Lancelot is banned this time, Hayabusa might have a chance to actually show up this game more than the previous one. So yeah, we'll see. And as you can see, the 4th ban for Team Vamos, they're still banning Zushin. They're not giving a chance to Zushin to join the game. I don't think they will ever. And as we can see also from Team DFYG, the Ruby ban is a must for them. Yeah. They know how annoying she might be, especially because Ruby can actually counter Hayabusa a lot. You know, she might stun him, and then they might actually gank Hayabusa. So they had to ban Ruby. They didn't want to give a chance for anyone to counter Hayabusa.
Because Hayabusa, it's the point on the TFYG, and they need to trying to eliminate anything annoying Hayabusa and anything like trying to encounter Hayabusa, and they are banning counter picks and also target picks.
I'm surprised they actually banned Lunox this game. There might be a reason for that, and most probably because of the crowd control factor of Lunox. Although on the other hand, I'm still having questions about the Hayabusa pick, because most of what I'm seeing right now from Team Vamos is crowd control based heroes, you know, and Hayabusa wouldn't do a great job with a crowd control team, you know, focusing on a crowd control. So it's kind of surprising. What are they going to do with Hayabusa this time? And what are they going to target? You know, so it's kind of weird, but they might have a strategy that I might not have speculated. So let's see in the match, what are they going to do with that?
For the second game, Hayabusa didn't get the full potential in the game. Maybe you will see in this game the full potential for the Hayabusa and with Labu Labu and Helda.
Yeah.
But as we see, Farsa it's banned.
Yes.
So
yes.
they are trying to eliminate the damage dealers, the crowd controllers, and the other things that they are trying. The snowballers, we can say, for the both teams.
Yes. As we can see right now, I think they're picking Kimi to be the mid laner. Most probably, yeah. Kimi is going to be a mid laner this time. We saw a Farsa ban this time, and we have a Kadita, or are we having a Valier? This actually, both of these picks are actually very, very, very nice. But I would mostly, I think they would actually go for Valier more than going for Kadita. Especially that Valier is basically more of a slow hero and a stunner, more than Kadita. Kadita is actually a burst damage hero. So we're going to see where they're going for. Or this is going to go for Valentina then, in that case.
We see Valentina Harith combo together.
That is very interesting. I think they wanted to benefit Valentina because she benefits from the enemy hero ults. So I think they wanted to benefit from a Yuzong ult or a Guinevere ult in that case, which will help Team DFYG a lot in this match. Let's see the last pick. Oh, Esmeralda.
Wow.
Okay.
BMS.
This is going to be an interesting game, you know. I think it might actually go to the late game. I think it might go to the late game. I think both teams are actually focusing on the late game more than the early game.
Both teams have fabulous picks and fabulous bans. And we will see in this game new scenarios like we didn't see it. Because now the last game for both and who's winning, it will go for the next stage.
Yeah.
But for VMS and the FIG, like equal, but the upper hand will go to, for my mind, the FIG.
I'm rooting for Vamos, so I wish them all the best. I wish both teams the best, and yeah.
Good. With this draft, which is more forgiving if mistakes happen?
VMS. Yeah.
Soldier?
VMS.
VMS.
I'm with you now.
Yeah.
So if both teams play perfectly, you think VMS will win? They will take the win?
If both teams will play perfect, the FIG.
DFYG.
Yeah.
And you?
VMS definitely.
We will see during the game.
So drafts are locked in for game 3. The deciding game, pressure is high, plans are set, and now it's all about the execution. Let's send it over to our casters for the deciding battle.
And here we are indeed in a deciding battle between DFYG and Vamos Superkin, now on the Hayabusa Error 404 on the Yisenshin. The junglers for both teams. Nice to do you like what we have come game number 3.
I'm glad we got a game 3, man. I'll put it that way. You know, we had a bunch of sweeps in the previous 2 days. Well, for play-ins, when things are now a little more spicy, I'm glad we're getting game 3s. And I think if you look at both drafts, you know, like our panel mentioned, I think you could say, like, yeah, in a way, let them go to the late game here a little bit, right? If they get to the late game, though, both these lineups have the potential to go ahead and shine more than the other. And a big part of Team Vamos' lineup is, once again, are they able to go ahead and utilize the amount of crowd control they have? Zorn, when he played the Guinevere earlier, like, he was able to do it. You know, he was able to actually go ahead and set things up with the spatial migration. He's very aggressive, and I think that's what makes Zorn, like, always a fun roam to watch. He is one of those roamers that, you know, people really tend to talk about or watch when it comes to the international scene. And, you know, part of that, too, is the scaling. Like, their scalability, like we've talked about Akimi for so long, since she's been in that mid lane meta for so long now, you know that she can provide a ton of damage, and Traction Pulse is great. I think for Team Vamos, though, it's also just making sure that the early game doesn't go to DFYG because Hayabusa, for example, or even a better game with the Lapu Lapu for Vel could actually be quite devastating in these earlier fights, depending on how they go for it. A Dragon Form is going to be used. Zoning out Super Ken, though, from this turtle pit, but he's going to go back, trying to get Zorn out if he can. He pops the Shadow Kill, does get the first blood. Air 404 will be able to secure it in the turtle, but he finally falls as Vel picks up a kill. The trading across the board, though, an objective secured for Team Vamos.
I believe the DFYG are the happier team to come out of that, especially because Super Ken really outplayed Vamos. He went for the Shadow, went out, and then got back in, got a kill onto Zorn. That's the first blood. And I think that's well worth it in exchange for the turtle, especially from a jungler's perspective. And the bonus that they got from that is to be able to kill Air 404. And this time, we can see Zed utilizing this Hilda properly in a way that he was able to up the damage, then flicker out. There were so many baits that the FYG were able to do in that exchange. I would still feel, though, that Team Vamos has got an easier lineup to execute, especially because this last pick, Esmeralda, again, has so much value. Great versus the Lapu Lapu. We already know that. But then you add in the Harith as well as the Hilda, Natko will have a great time later on, and that's something that DFYG should be prepared about.
I mean, part of that, too, is, again, if you look at Team Vamos' lineup, you know, what can you take here for the Valentina? The most value over here is probably the form, or what else could you take that actually would help DFYG's case when it comes to having a Valentina?
Yeah, I think just the
Dragon Form, no?
Dragon Form. It can actually work badly for you, so you gotta be careful there if you're E1.
E1?
E1, yeah, right. And Super Ken is still very impressive with his jungle. So
yeah, I think of this too is just the amount of time that we're seeing it take for a Harith to build up now, scale up. I would say a majority of these Harith games that we've been watching now for the past couple of days here, Wolf, it's I don't know if we're still going to see Harith picked up a ton as the days and weeks go by here. It just seems like it does take a little bit too long to build up. Air 404 is going to be able to secure this second turtle pretty easily. Whoa, a mountain shot. Holding on to the Black Dragon form, doesn't even get to use it. E1 deleted quickly under the turret too. Putting some pressure here in that tier 1 mid, but man, Team Vamos still have an easy kill and a pickup for an objective.
That's a problem with somehow a double-edged sword to copy the usual ultimate because yeah, you're fairly weak and you don't have the double dash anymore for the fight. That's why he was knocked down even after popping the ultimate, and also didn't have the purify. That's why Team Vamos have picked up a great kill. In fact, Vamos are leading with 600 gold. As we've mentioned, they have an easier lineup to execute. Natko already has the Enchanted Talisman. It will take only a while before we get to see him with the Oracle, which then makes it so that DFYG will not have enough of a firepower to eventually take out Natko. DFYG needs to really ramp up now. They really need to make a play. Otherwise, Team Vamos will just easily take over this game.
We'll see what happens. I know it's just a very small lead for now. DFYG still potentially can turn it around here. Not letting that play out a little bit further. So, I don't even... I think for the third turtle, DFYG, if they can kind of get into the position where they have a favorable one, and maybe that's a kill off of Super Ken if he's able to get a shadow kill off of this, just like this against Air 404. Wow! Happens as soon as I mentioned it. Now Black Dragon Form going to be used to pick up E1. And Super Ken's pretty low, so they might still put pressure on the purple buff here. A spatial...
Oh, Super Ken is able to get a pick off, but in comes the fray. Air 404. Ooh! Esmeralda misses, and Super Ken collects the kill before getting out. He is for Sisga, then Sisga would not have wasted his...
So he can just go ahead and spatial migration a little bit more here if he doesn't land the one he wants to. So this is actually a pretty big risk for DFYG as well. And now it's going to try to get away, but Vel will flick around the air, knocked into the air again, and petrify from Sizz.
They do everything just to get that red.
This push with the Lord. At least do some damage to them, but right now they're just happy with the one push down on bot.
12 minutes and you get the inhibitor. I think that's a big reason to be happy for Team Vamos, but job's not done yet. They really need to just secure this. We'll be waiting for 70 more seconds before the next Lord spawns. And I think the next target now for Team Vamos is to deny that purple buff away from Super Ken. They have positioned their pieces around it already, just waiting for it to spawn. Eventually, the Yi Sun-shin will get to that position. While that's happening, Zorin is actually scouting out where the FYG members are.
Yeah, they have, I mean, even for...
Look at that position from Esmeralda, the extra push from Dangerous Grasp.
Oh, no. Yeah. Notgo's, though, he's going to be fine. Again, there's so much this Esmeralda can do. You know, it doesn't really... like, if you are going to wait patiently in one of these bushes here, the Dangerous Grass, like, Notgo is the guy to go give the information. Doesn't necessarily have to be Zorin here, and that's one of the advantages of having this Esmeralda on this lineup. You know, you can kind of do this all day, man, and that's what Notgo wants to do. Very different, you know, than every single time that you see these gold laners do get a chance to play the Esmeralda. Maybe it's a little freeing for them. Like, they're like, okay, yeah, I get to play a very different game than what I normally do in the gold lane with a traditional marksman.
Yeah. Team Vamos, Iridian armor up on Natco. They will start the Lord very easy, very quickly. Zorin already started them out and into the prey.
Oof. Okay, Lord's secure though, so that was all a distraction. They'll just go for the reset, get ready to march towards the base here of DFYG once again. And I don't know, Wolf, I think, you know, with this case in game 3, 7,000 behind, and really Super Ken's kind of initial advantage that he had on the high boost, especially early on, FYG to face off against Team Vamos, staying in this game 3.
That's enough for Team Vamos to just get out of there in this elimination match. They're literally one win away from advancing into the quarterfinals, and seems like they are leading by so much that they can afford to prolong this game even further. And to be fair, I would agree. I think it's much better for them to just get out. Natko has to get away from this though. That's the flicker.
Whoa, the damage! Parkoon with the Wind of Nature too. He's almost able to get away. A good attempt there, but at least the turnaround is something that DFYG needed to happen here. Catching out Parkoon, even getting a couple flickers, Notgo's as well. This might be a small opening for DFYG to make something happen. Now Arrow 404, no. He's actually going to get caught out here too. As long picks up a kill, and now it's Notgo in trouble. Super Ken picks up another. What is happening to Team Vamos?
Oh no, Team Vamos. Overconfident, overstaying as well. Getting outplayed, outmaneuvered in that part of the map. They definitely did not expect that death push play coming out from DFYG. Now they have lost all of their core members. Will lose their outer turret in the mid lane. Long posing for another push, but the defense will be there from Zorin as well as Siska. You won. Might not be enough to get a push up.
Oh, you won.
Has to go now.
Oh, he does. The Terrify comes in clutch there. Zorin has immortality, but is he going to burn his flicker as well? Bonkun there, quite low. Siska's going to jump in. Super Ken, not sure if he's going to commit to this. He gets knocked into the air. What a stun, a spatial migration. They were waiting for that moment for Super Ken to move forward, and that is unfortunate. Bad timing, too, as now the Lord is up for Team Vamos.
Oh my goodness, what a way to outplay Super Ken out there. The FYG are already outplaying Team Vamos. In fact, they have forced the Dragon form, they have forced the immortality onto Clockun. They have all the tools for them to get this Lord, but Super Ken just stumbles because of the outplay from Team Vamos.
So tough. I don't know if they can delay this, Wolf. They're going to try Zed, trying to get an angle here, but he's going to be zoned in, zoned down, and taken it down. Arrow 404 will pick up a kill. Clockhoon picks up the Wind of Nature again after using it earlier on. They'll be able to secure this Lord off of that. And that is a good play to solidify the objective for Team Vamos after a shaky last couple minutes.
Oh. Now, I gotta say, for DFYG, they tried to buy the time for Super Ken to be there and almost were enough time, but Team Vamos making any extra movements out there, just focusing on taking the Lord and punishing whoever is in front. Did not overextend to get a kill onto E1 as well as Long because they know that they can end this with just raw power. Just, you know, their lead has been down to 3,000, but this is more than doable. Might be able to push up top, and then the last push for Team Vamos commences.
Last push potentially here. They're going to go for this Black Dragon form already used. Arrow 404 trying to get away. Bell is low in there. Clockhoon picks up the kill. Lord's going to be actually cleared out and worked on, and Natko splitting them up, but Clockhoon gets a double. And now they're going to go a little bit further. Natko's immortality is going to be popped here. Long going for that cleanup kill, but can't solidify. Taken out Natko, but still, DFYG still defends 19 minutes into this game 3.
Not letting up. This is an elimination match, and Super Ken is throwing everything. Almost have won against Onyx yesterday in a 30-minute match. I'll not be surprised if they can prolong this even further. You can see the heart from Super Ken. Let's see if they can defend for more. Team Vamos seems like they wanted to make a play.
They do get the Purify out. Again, a Black Dragon up to lead them all, but Siska's feeling the damage now. Natko's going to be in trouble. He gets caught out with Landshaker stunned in his tracks. DFYG is not going home so easily. They'll take it past the 20-minute mark here in Game 3. And Team Vamos is wondering that too. Like, man, we're so close so many times, but we can't end it. Even with all the base turrets of DFYG down, they still hold on.
Fortunately, no battles for Natko to save himself out there. Team Vamos tried to make another play, even when they didn't have to. They tend to wait for the next Lord to spawn. But I think it's a good heat check against DFYG. To be fair, Natko will respawn long enough that the Lord will be available when he is up once again. And I think the Team Vamos can actually afford to lose their top lane turret. They have all of the lanes pushed naturally because of the super minions that they have anyways. And if they don't make any extra moves right now, they can easily play the map in their favor. But here they are, Dragon are permitted.
They want to fight. They know that down bot is Super Ken, so this is going to be a fight they want to take. Team Vamos will take out E1. They're going to be looking for more. Knocked in the air. Yell has immortality. He's trying to get away. Through the wall he goes. Super Ken joining the fight. Long has so much shields here. This is Natko, though, leading that charge. A Mount Shocker is going to be able to find a Zed. Zed bombing a weave in, but will go down to Error 404, and they'll make their way to the Lord to solidify a potential Game 3. This is going to be much tougher to deal with now that it's an evolved Lord.
Oh, what a play coming out from Team Vamos. They said that they should not be doing any extra moves, but they have identified that Hayabusa is in the bottom lane. It will take a while before he gets there. He knows. Siska knows that with this Warcry built on the Yuzhong, there's a one-hit potential against E1, who is now only rocking the Purify.
Once again, Siska going to lead that front. Black Dragon form. Vel jumps in with the Bravest Finder. Zaman force drop down 2. They got to clear this out. E1 looking for an ultimate to take. He's just going to go in with the Terrify and keeps Natko at bay. And now Vel trying to run here. Once again, defensive items being switched out. Oh, he picks up an immortality just in time as well. He's going to heal back at the fountain with the Lord now. They got to deal with this, and Zorn jumps in. A spatial migration. Super Ken is gone. A massive play and a decision from Zorn. Can they win in the fight? They've already lost 3. This is a big defense for DFYG, and despite Zorn's play, DFYG will stay in it. They'll clear out the waves and the Lord.
Oh, was the massive play coming out from Zorn. I thought it was instrumental to the victory of DFYG, but if you think about it, the Hayabusa is not that important when it comes to the defense. It's more of a distraction at this point, and when they try to go in all in, they got caught into the backlines with Bell dealing the damage, and as well as Valentina. Valentina, we have already forgotten how much damage this mage can actually deal in a team fight, and we are reminded of how strong a Valentina could be, especially when he's dealing AoE damage. Yi1 salvaging this team, and Super Ken might have been a great target for Team Vamos, but they were so tunnel vision into taking down at high. And everybody from Team Vamos just went in, took the beeline towards where Super Ken is. And what generally happened was that we're clumped up together. Bell managed to land a good ultimate combo, dealing enough damage to an AoE, and then of course Yi1 was there to clean up.
Man, look at the items here. They're like, there's so much juggling between these, you know, these winter crowns, the wind of natures, of course. But hats off to DFYG staying into this game for, you know, multiple minutes now, 8+ minutes up to this point. When Team Vamos first entered the base, you know, and you got to remember they were at one point down what, 7, almost 8,000 gold.
That's right.
In this game 3, and yes, the gold doesn't really matter at this point. It's more so just switching in those defensive items when they need it at the right moment. But what DFYG has been able to do is stay in the game and now actually be in a position to potentially contest this Lord. The biggest thing for them is they don't want to get caught in a position they don't want to with what's across from them. Again, that is still Sizka for the most part, right? Sizka and Zorn. They got to be careful.
And Zorn and Ken
going to go for the backside. They're going to go for this back lane push. E1 popping the winter crown. Super Ken takes out Nocto. They're trying to get away. A couple flickers burned here too. And 404 is gone. This is a massive turnaround for DFYG. They're going to go for Sizka. He's trying to run. They can actually start up this Lord. He's doing what he can. Sizka actually still alive. And it's DFYG to chase down. Meanwhile, Zed chasing Zorn. Sizka finally goes down, but they get 4 kills for DFYG. And with a full force team, they can run it down mid with this wave pushing in. This is massive. What can Zorn do? But just watch. A shadow kill going to be used, but with this wave pushing in and the full team.
Oh, man.
With E1 clearing out the waves, DFYG did they did the comeback. They made it happen, and they send Team Vamos home in Games of the Future 2025.
And they already knew so they took out their headsets because they know that with TikTok timers up and available, they cannot survive. Yi1 was ready for that play. Oh my god, the winter crown to eliminate the Team Vamos. What an outlay. Oh my goodness, DFYG.
Man, what a that's playing here, Wolf. It's unfortunate for Team Vamos that they had control of for so long. And then here comes DFYG. You know, they stayed locked into it. They had some rough here in the start of the game and everything else, but they managed to pull in and turn things around. What an amazing series we have here just to open up today.
No room for errors for anyone, and that also applies to Vamos. Super Ken and the gang fought tooth and nail for this one, and they have outplayed Team Vamos. What a great play. I'm sure that the panel has a lot to talk about. Back to you, panel.
Question, right? You guys fell through in the second match, right? You've lost the second match. How did you guys recover back up to win the third and call it a night for you guys?
I just tell to my friend, just keep focus at the game 3.
Amazing, as easy as that. Now, you guys are heading into the quarterfinals. Obviously, a pretty huge step for you guys. You're probably going to be competing with a very strong team. How do you guys prepare for such a match? How do you guys prepare for a big match like the one that you're going to be having tomorrow at the quarterfinals?
I think just play and trust my coach for draft winning.
Amazing. That is the right answer. Do you guys feel confident that you're going to take the win tomorrow?
Yeah, confident.
Amazing. Well done. Congratulations. One more time, everybody. Give it up to Team DFYG.
And that's it. Game 3 is done. The series is decided, and what a way to close it out. DYFG secured that win. A full 3-game battle. Momentum swings, pressure moments, and ultimately a winner emerging here tonight. Let's bring in the desk and break everything down. So, Groot, let's start with you. From a big picture perspective, what decided this Game 3?
Well, you know the saying, curiosity killed the cat? Where overconfidence killed Vamos this match. They went overconfident, and that's what made them actually lose this match. They thought that they had it, but then DFYG had something else to say. They told them, no, this is our match. Although it seemed, you know, that Vamos is going to take the win, but after what they've done, they started doing mistake after mistake after mistake, which led to their loss.
Soldier, you think the same?
To be honest, Team Vamos have the ego thing happens in the game, but the FYG tried to play on their mistakes, around their mistakes, and they took the game from their hands, because Team Vamos having the potential in the objectives, having the advantage also in the lanes, having the potential also in the map. They can move, they can focus on the map more than the FYG. The FYG having more stress in the map, but having little bit overconfident kills you a little bit, because the FYG they play on the little bit relaxed, like trying to be confident on their games, without rushing. No need to rush. Just play our style, our scenarios, and our thing and our chemistry, and it happens. And they took the win, and they deserve it, because I like it when they play on their mistakes.
Yeah,
this is the best thing happens like during the match 3.
Yeah,
because Team Vamos they didn't notice like we are doing mistakes, because they are doing mistakes after mistakes after mistakes, because they're repeating the same things after and after.
Yes, that is very true. That is very true. And this is what made DFYG actually steal the win from Team Vamos. As we can see here, there is not much difference in the gold, in the total gold. Even the towers destroyed, since DFYG did not have to push the side lanes, they had to just push the mid lane to get the win. So, you know, this is how they got the win. Although Team Vamos had 4 lords slain, and DFYG didn't even get a lord. They didn't even need a lord, you know, to actually grab this win. And Turtle slain, there was, you know, we would say the match was most entirely balanced until Team Vamos started, you know, their ego started, you know, taking
little bit get higher.
Yeah, and it started taking control over them actually. And yeah, this is where they actually started messing up. The FYG, they held on to the base as much as they could, and they knew that holding on to the base would actually give them a chance for the win, and they got it in the end.
Team Vamos, they tried to play on the quick match, fast as possible. Let's win, let's get this lord, and let's push from bottom. But Team DFYG, they took the deep breath, and like they see the mistakes one by one. They see the small points. They see how to critically strike on it, and they won, and they got it because they know how to play it. They know how to control of the map. They took it, because Team Vamos in the first, it was goal different between teams. It was higher for the VMS, but now on we are seeing in the leaderboard it's equal, because we reached to the late game, and each game it's equal for them for the goals and the items. But the FYG, they play it very perfectly and for the matches and for the like scenarios and rotations.
Okay,
exactly.
And now let's talk about the MVP. MVP of the game. Soldier, what do you have to say?
Yeah. To be honest, MVP, it was very perfect for the FYG. He knows he deserved it. because in the game it was his impact. It was very noticeable, and he got it. And also his teams, it's hidden stars, and he's the superstar.
Good.
Yeah, well, with Dion, he used to play with Valentina, so he was actually doing a great job with crowd controlling the enemy team, Team Vamos. And the thing is with Team Vamos, their disadvantage that they had is their two heroes, Yisun Shin and Kimi, were mostly being targeted by Hayabusa and Hilda. And these were the actual two damage dealers of Team Vamos. And if DFYG grabbed and killed them, you know,
There is
Team
no-
Vamos,
no-
there is
no
nothing
damage
else.
dealer.
Yeah, there is no damage dealer for Team Vamos, so they would actually, you know, gank on Team Vamos and just kill everyone else. And that's what they did in the late game. They targeted Yisun Shin, they targeted Kimi, Team Vamos dropped.
They don't have any other.
They couldn't
damage
do
dealer.
anything.
Yes.
So
But
yeah.
Soldier, can you talk us through the momentum that changed the game, that sealed the deal for DYFG?
To be honest, for DFYG, they focus on Hayabusa, and they focus how to make Hayabusa more stronger, more snowballer, and no one is focusing, and no one is noticeable. Like he's getting more and more and more damaged, and more like impact and more advantage, because they, like, for Team Vamos, like they have two damage dealer, and they are relaxed more. But Team DFYG, they are hidden treasure. Like, book,
Yeah.
suddenly surprised everyone. Hayabusa, it's like a ninja, faster. They are taking the kills like this with the blink of the eyes.
That is very
But do you guys think that the losing side have any chance to recover after that?
Yeah, definitely. They always have a time to recover, but the only way that they could recover, a losing side can recover from their state right now, is actually depending on the mistakes of the enemy team, basically. So if they actually benefit from it, that's it. You know, it's perfect for them. They can actually win right now.
Okay, I think we're gonna be back shortly with more in this Games of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025. Stay tuned, guys. Thank you.
Abu Dhabi and UAE at the moment seems to be the epicenter of autonomous, robotics, and many other activities.